KPIX 5 News at 5 begins right now with the Bay Area's deep ties to the largest college admissions cheating scheme ever prosecuted in the U.S. Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Alan Martin. Actresses, parents, coaches among the dozens charged. The plot allegedly involved millions of dollars in bribes to get students into some of the country's most elite schools, including Stanford, Yale, UCLA, and USC.
Our team coverage begins with Susie Steimle live at Stanford with allegations of a widespread effort to game the admissions process. Susie?
Well, the FBI today said that this scandal started in 2011, and they're accusing parents of cheating in two very specific ways. They're paying to inflate their kids' SAT scores, and they're bribing college coaches at elite universities like here at Stanford, trying to get their students onto teams that they have no business being on. All of this allegedly laundered through a charity, so these wealthy parents could even write these briberies off on their taxes. Former Stanford sailing coach John Vandemore walked into federal court today to plead guilty to being a crucial part of one of the biggest college admissions scams ever prosecuted in the United States. He's one of 50 people charged today.
This case is about the widening corruption of elite college admissions through the steady application of wealth combined with fraud.
William Rick Singer is at the center of the scandal. Prosecutors say he accepted bribes from wealthy parents, including actresses Felicity Huffman and Loughlin. In exchange, he helped secure a spot for their students at elite universities across the country, including Stanford, Georgetown, UCLA, Yale, and USC. In some cases, Singer would even help students cheat on their SAT tests. In others, he flat out fabricated student athletic profiles, sometimes having them pose for fake photographs to be admitted into athletic programs when they didn't even play the sport.
There can be no separate college admissions system for the wealthy, and I'll add that there will not be a separate criminal justice system either.
14 of the 50 indicted are from the Bay Area. They range from private equity investors to vintners and CEOs like Marcy Palatala. We stopped by Palatala's palatial home today in Hillsborough. She's accused of spending roughly $500,000 to secure her son a spot at USC. In the indictment, a recorded conversation shows a cooperating witness ask her, "Are you willing to make a contribution of several $100,000 as a donation to get him in as a participant in someone's program?" She replied, "Yes, but he can never know." They answered, "He needs to get in through football, since that's the sport with the lowest grades."
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
So no students have been charged at this point. We do know, of course, 33 parents have been charged, and the FBI says likely more to come. Alan.
All right, Susie Steimle live at Stanford. Thanks. KPIX 5's Kiet Doe continues our coverage now after speaking with high schoolers in Palo Alto. Kit?
Yeah, Stanford says that they are working with the Department of Justice and they are deeply concerned about all these allegations. The prosecutors say the real victims in all this are the hardworking students who play by the rules.
High school students we talked to were just shaking their heads. We caught up with this tour group at Stanford from China. Bob Gao is a 16-year-old sophomore in China who plans to apply to Stanford for computer engineering.
I think it's really unfair for those students who work hard and have a good SAT score or something like that. And I don't think it's really a good way to prove yourself, prove your own ability.
I never expect that to happen in the United States. I thought this only happens in China.
As news spread about the involvement of Stanford sailing coach John Vandemore, the university moved to quickly fire him. According to court documents, back in October of last year, an FBI informant contacted John Wilson, owner of a private equity firm in the Boston area, about a so-called side door to get into Stanford as a recruit on the sailing team. The informant said, "I can send John Vandemore your $500,000 that you wired into my account. I asked him for a second spot in sailing, and he said he can't do that because he has to actually recruit some real sailors so that Stanford doesn't catch on." Wilson asked, "What would happen if they don't actually get in?" "Oh, no, no, no. You don't have to worry about it. It's a done deal."
Very disappointing for a lot of people who genuinely want to get into a university like Stanford, just knowing that some people can buy their way in.
I think it shouldn't be able to buy you into Stanford because hard work gets you in Stanford.
And after all this, Wilson's daughters never even applied to Stanford.
Alleged conduct involves anyone else at Stanford or is associated with any other team. And we're live at Stanford University. Kiet, KPIX 5.
We're learning more details about the allegations against two Hollywood actresses related to this scheme. Felicity Huffman reportedly paid $15,000 disguised as a donation to a college prep business to doctor the entrance exam for her oldest daughter. Prosecutors say Huffman also discussed having someone take the test for her younger daughter. Her husband, actor William H. Macy, seen here at the courthouse today, was reportedly present during that conversation. Court papers say the couple later decided against it, and Macy was not charged. A judge has said Huffman could be released on $250,000 bond. Court papers also show Full House actress Lori Loughlin and her husband agreed to pay bribes totaling $500,000 to boost their two daughters' chances of getting into USC. Loughlin also allegedly said she would arrange for one of her daughters to be photographed on a rowing machine to support the false claim that she was a member of the LA Marine Club crew team. Loughlin was out of the country when FBI agents arrived at her home this morning. She's expected to surrender later today or tomorrow.